Yeah, good morning, beautiful people out there. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday was a holiday, so I was spending time with family and everything. So I was unable to load anything at all. And today, actually, I have a topic that I want to talk about. It's a topic about the argument that we have with people, and sometimes there are many people out there who feel that they like a for them argument is like a competition, and who's going to win and who's not going to win, and then the person who doesn't win also feel bad, and the person who wins also feel bad. So in the end, the argument also create lots of stress and uh, resentment towards each other, and lots of um, hatred towards each other. So, for me, that I feel that I want to compare an argument with something which is make you see uh, in a different perspective. Let's pretend the argument is like, okay, there's two people, right? They're arguing with each other. So let's compare the argument with a race, okay? Like we all love racing, and like one person wants to have a competition of running a marathon or a race or something, right? So let's say Mr. A and okay, why to be Mr. Why Mr. Okay, okay, we can take Miss or Miss. It can be anything. Okay, just like A and B. Okay, so the person name is A and one person is B. So I will not say even it's Mr. or Miss. So you want why I'm judging. So A and B. Okay, the B loves to compete. Okay, all the time, and A doesn't want to do that. So the B wants started to invite the A, said let's come on, and the argument starts on, and then they want to, now the B wants to compete a lot, very competitive, want to be right all the time. So let's pretend that they're having that argument, but pretend the argument is a race, a marathon of running. Now B wants to run further, and wants even though B have told the A that let's have competition, but B is not want to have the competition, don't want to race. Okay, so and then but the B said no, you have to, otherwise it's not fun. Okay, but then in argument they won't say that word. It's not fun if we don't argue. It's so boring. Nobody will say that. They all will have that. But I'm just trying to make it funny for you to understand. So B will say that, okay, I want to have a competition, so I know who is the right and wrong. So the words is like a race, right? So now what? Let's B will start running. They're like ready, get set, go. So when they get set, go, B started running and very excited and pumped. He knows that he's going to win for sure, everything. So B is in his own world, and while he was running, lots of obstacle came his way. He was able to cross everything with high colors. Okay, the moment he reached the end, he was overjoyed because he have won the argument. But this is what the result is. When he turned around, he noticed that A did not run at all. A was still standing in the same spot. Didn't even run a single step. Not even walked at all. Just standing there. Still. Now the B will feel what? Feel more upset, more stressed, because B now was having lots of feeling of winning during that argument. But the moment they reached at the end, the B was still feeling resentment, anger towards A, because A doesn't want to win. A is choosing to be at peace and calm. So I want you to see in your life, are you A or are you B? You know, B means want to compete, but in the end, what the result of feeling of you were running alone, you were going on passing all those obstacles, you pass with flying colors, but in the end you were still upset. You were still didn't have the peace of mind, and you were still didn't uh, uh, you went through those obstacles with what intention? Your intention was always wanted to winning, being right all the time. That's the intention of your race. So B, when he was running with lots of negative intention of wanting to be right, want to be correct, and others' perspective view was not uh, for him to take in. He doesn't want it, he don't want to hear other person. So that's what happens is in the race. So in the end, we won, but still didn't have the peace of mind and still had the feeling of um, low self-esteem. It will come back to them, confident gone, because how is it life would be fun when there's no one to compete with, right? Now in the you have, if there's kind of relationship you're in, there are many people out there who will want to compete, like A and B, both of them very competitive. Sorry about that, I forgot the alarm. My son is on, went back to school, so there is no interruption, but forgot the iPad. There will be interruption with that. Okay, so let's continue. So all over the world, everybody, only very few people will be that lucky, will find a person, or lucky in a sense is actually lucky if you find a person who doesn't want to compete, who doesn't um, want to win an argument, they give in. But there are also some who will be like C will be different. A doesn't want to compete, right? And some people who get a couple who is like maybe not couple or friend or anything, can be anything, like a partnership team. B and B will be together and both of them are competitive, right? So imagine they both competitive with each other. In the end, the person who wins is like, let's say B1 B2, like a cartoon movie now. There is a cartoon movie named B1 B2, so they're also very competitive. You should go and watch it. Actually, I don't remember. It was a long time ago in Thailand. They used to have this B1 B2. So B1 and B2, both of them love competing each other, and they will race all the time, who comes first. And even though in the end B1 will won, or maybe B2 will won, but then one will be feeling low and down. But B1 will not even go and encourage the B2 at all. Will be so proud that I did everything. I got it. I won it, like that. Have the pride and all this, everything. But then they will still continue this until they will, both of them will be, how do I say, very battery low down because of competitive and tired. And then what you lose in the process while competing with each other, turn out that one person will literally get sick, and both of them will get sick with lots of stress of competing all the time. And then people right now, wherever you see, they B doesn't want to be B anymore. They want to become A. So they want to go hang out with A. So when they hang out with A, they will slowly transform themselves and upgrade themselves, and they also become A. A that doesn't want to compete. A doesn't want to, you know, argue anymore. Just want to be at peace and calm within their own state of mind. They don't want to race with anyone. But sometimes without you knowing, A and B comes together and becomes unbalanced, and there's unsteadiness. B have to face lots of challenges in life because now A is not going to compete with B anymore, and then B will feel alone, right? Feeling alone there because I'm the only one who wants to compete, but A doesn't want to compete. And now, whatever A does will be bad in the B points of view because B will keep on trying to provoke A all the time for every single thing. Well, like, let's pretend, I'll give you example. Um, Maybe A um, wants to do gardening, right? Okay, want to spend more time in gardening, and the B doesn't wants to do gardening at all, or like it because full of insects, full of everything. And then B wants to do what? B wants to go out to the uh, maybe not into the nature, but would prefer indoors, some activities, but indoor, but not activities outdoor. Would prefer only activities indoor with air condition, no insects running around. So they will have that, then B will try to provoke A by commenting like by not even provoking. Yes, actually it's provoking, but will be like the B will be complaining more, like like being stubborn. So they'll be complaining a lot, like a small little kid, being, oh, I'm cranky. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So B will be very cranky a lot. Even though B could be adult, can be any age, they will literally become like a baby. They will start be complaining, oh, I can't do this. It's so tiring. Lots of mosquitoes, lots of that, lots of this. And in the end, B will do so much complaining, so much also uh, self blaming, hoping that the A will uh, you know get in and just start the race and of argument. But A will still stand still and be at calm, at peace. In the end, B will not win, because in the end B will still feel like they're winning, but in the end they're still not winning because they're not doing with anyone. This is the thing. Now let's leave A and B aside. What is C? C would be like something like A, that doesn't want to fight, but will start self-blaming themselves for every single thing and start hurting themselves and self-abuse themselves. They're not loving themselves at all, because they to come out from C to become A, they have to come to the realizations of themselves. They're already halfway there, but not yet there. I know I'm not putting in order. I should make B into some other thing, maybe Z or something. I didn't use the correct alphabet, maybe not in the correct order. But anyway, this actually is good to not be in correct order, because the we are so attached to being everything to be in correct order that makes us more confusing, and then later on lots of fight happens in everywhere, right? So C would be like a person who wants to do early, like self blame, feel guilty, and um, feel pity for yourself and all those things. And then when C hang out with A lot, there will be lots of influence there, that you might like lots of things about A, because A and C almost similar, same, introvert, but then has A have more like power, right? And C will be very attracted to A lot. So this will happen. When this happens, the A will start to not only uh, but A doesn't like to be hold down, to be attached, to be anything, to be like their own master. They want to a freedom of that. Be not to be in a race. Okay, that's what A likes. So A doesn't like a race, doesn't like to go into gathering with together. They will be gathering unless A finds someone who's just like A. When A with A together combine, it'll be powerful, right? Just imagine lots of peace and lots of positivity, lots of high vibrations of frequency that's going on there with A. But B will be like competitive. So what kind of frequency they will giving out? Lots of negativity. Let's get compete. Lots of stress. Lots of tension. Um, C will have lots of what? The more C hang out with other C's will hang out with self pity, self low. So it's low energy down. So in the end, A, B, and C. So what type of person are you? Are you A? Are you B? Or are you C? So this is how you see life in by putting yourself out and then observe people around you. This is how I learned when I started observing. I stopped watching movie quite a long time ago. I'm just adding in something more. I stopped watching movie long time ago. I only choose movie that provide that has more A in it than B than C. That if suppose there is more, and actually there is D too. The D would be like lots of violence, lots of killing, possessions, wanting, lots of what do you say, five vices in them. Five vices will be like anger, right? One is anger, one is greed, one is attachment, and lust, desire. So lust is there, and then anger or ego. So ego will be there. The D will have all the five vices complete, and this all five vices complete is what people call it drama. They love it so much. They want to have uh, everything. They want everything in their need. But A is living in a reality. Because A has that what they say, they see and observe their surrounding and they know what is going on. So it's A is like to be like, how do you say, A not like to compete. They're not stubborn. B will have their own perspective of view of wanting to compete all the time because they were raised by Bs a lot. So you might find lots of parents who have, maybe one of your parents could be a A or could be a B or could be a C or could be a D, right? And you suppose D and D parent come together and they raise their children, their children will literally become like D. Only unless D children hang out with A children, then they might turn into A. It's like influence. You see how their vibrations and frequency affects people. So A has lots of high frequency vibrations going on that will radiate lots of how do you say, uh, that B will get jealous of A, or C could also get jealous of A, and D also could get jealous of A too, but not jealous at that very moment, but will get jealous because once they get jealous of A, they will try to push themselves to come to reach the level of A. When they reach the level of A, also maybe they're going in the same, like A is moving very slowly, so slow pace, but inner is not slow. How do you say? Like, like, like in a race, right? Everybody's running their own race in the competition, but A will practice is silence and hidden. Let anybody know what they're doing, right? So B will be practicing running race, right? So B will be practicing lots outside to let people that they feel in comfort zone. They will show those people how they are practicing every day, right? So as for C, C also will practice, but not that much because they are more down low, feeling low about themselves. There will be lots of laziness there. So they're not that active here, right? But D will be very active, will be like similar to alpha. Okay, similar to alpha. A stand for alpha. Let's make it more easier for you to understand. So D will be like alpha a lot, but D will, let's say D will have all these five vices in them, all the egos and greed and everything. But there will also be lots of activity in themselves, but they love to show it. They love to show it, right? They love to show it, and then they also get uh, like D trying to be A. You understand? D is trying to be A, but they're doing it in a wrong way. You understand? But they're doing it in a, but whatever they're doing it is also correct. Some of them also very correct way they're doing it. And then slowly they transform. Like, how do I say? When D hang out or see A a lot, when they see A a lot or hang out with one of the A's, this is what happens. A D that has pushed themselves so hard with lots of things, in the end, they reached at the top with lots of possession and being rich. Okay. Then, if they hang out with A, then what happened? They turn into humbleness. They become compassionate, more kind, more soft, more, everything. And then this what happens when D becomes A with lots of cash in them, even though they're going to die soon because of cancer or anything, but they come to their self realizations, about themselves, that they are actually, it's not about other people to compete with anyone. Actually, it's only about themselves, who they truly are, their true essence. A is not competing with anyone, they're just more focused on themselves. That's all, their self improvement. So, this is what happens when D become A, then B, C, very jealous of D and A. So it's making you understand in a more widely open perspective and understanding people out there. So the people out there who could be A, could be B, could be C, could be D. So check yourself today. Are you A? Are you B? or are you C, or are you D? Okay. So always do one thing, working on yourself every day. When you start working on yourself every day, you will literally become A. Don't look at other people. Don't, if suppose you have to look, like there are lots of YouTube channel of other peoples who are like D, right? And there are lots of people out there who are like A already. So you can pick on some good qualities from them, put it on yourself, practice it on yourself. You have to practice it. If you don't practice it, you will not go forward and accomplish those things that you want in life, right? But also, when you want something, notice that when D wants something, what do they lose behind? What do they lose about themselves? And look at the A. What do they gain when they detach? Because the the A will prefer to become will practice removing five vices from them. They're literally removing five vices from them. That would be instead of let's say instead of anger, will be calm, right? And then instead of greed, will be giver, right? And then instead of attachment, will be detachment. And then instead of desire of wanting, means let go. They don't want anything anymore in life because they only want one thing, their morals and their peace, inner peace, and the desire outside is not nothing that compared to what they want from within themselves. So they channel it into inwards instead, right? Peace within themselves. And then ego would be what? Wait, I think the ego is wait, I'll just pause. Okay, I'm back. So I went to get the book that I wrote. Let's see. I don't know whether you can see in the. Oh, yeah, you want. I'm not sure you can see the correct way. It's actually written lust, right? Lust actually is within the five vices, the desire of many things, but it could be also lust actually. So lust is not love, right? So you have to become love instead. So change the lust to purity. A will have they will transform from the five vices, lust into purity, anger into calm, greed into a giver, attachment to become detachment, ego becomes peace. Because they'll prefer peace more, you know. So A will be like inward, see, it's going in the hand itself. So I'm just like coming along with whatever is coming right now. So it's like we become a fist. If you think about it, in the end, a finger that is like this flying everywhere, it's like competing with each other, right? Up and down. See, it's not balanced. And then like but when they want to see themselves, like they want to inward and check themselves, go in and go in, it becomes a fist. Don't you feel the fist is strong itself? A fist like you could fight with someone, but you're not really using it. It's like that. So okay, no mind. I don't even know. I'm just getting the wisdom comes time keeps coming up whenever I'm connected with divine. I talk to him daily whenever I get time. And actually, you might ask that who is this divine? Because some people kept on saying it's God in many names. And then some people do ask me, do you believe in any religion? Um, how do I say this? I'm not bound to any religion, even though I was born in the Sikh religion. My mom and my dad are Sikhism. I let's say I lost faith. Act- I lost faith when I was very young kid because I noticed that people around me turned out to be lots of B in them. There were lots of B. I won't say I was raised by what because uh, I need to keep that privacy private because if you lie it out, it also becomes I'm attracting negative energy towards me. So I should not do that, right? Because actually that was a lesson I learned yesterday within like when I was sitting meditation within myself. I don't really have to sit. I just can sit anywhere in the garden and walking or just standing, pause and go within myself. While people said, how can you not sit meditation? I will not sit in meditation. when, like, I suppose I really need to connect with the divine some moment of time, or anywhere, it could be any place, maybe even a sky train. I literally go in within myself and just like go in silence, you know. Right now I'm in silence, but I'm not getting the knowledge yet because I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to him. So, but I'm so this is what how I learn every time, you know. So people around me, I notice my elderly, actually was she passed away long ago. So it's okay to talk about. I do send her blessing because actually I'm so grateful for her lessons too. Because sometimes, you know, to become A, we need to live with people who are B and C and D because they will help us to see ourselves instead. Don't ever think that they if they were all we were born everybody was born A, it would be very, like, how do you say, very mellow and wonderful, like paradise itself, right? But then, like, but if suppose to become a strong A, we also need some motivation to become strong, right, within ourselves, the obstacles that everything we face daily in our life. So it's B and C and D, we need them to help us to go to become A. But even once you become A, this what will happen. When we become A, we want to hang out with A only. We don't want to hang out with B or C or D anymore. But then it, how do I say, it dawned on me that I need to let go of this attachment of wanting to hang out with A. I want to be able to still live with B, C, and D, B, C, D. I still have to hang out with, of course, A, B, C will have to hang out with each other, right? Why would, then how would the alphabet we become, you know? Like, they will, alphabet still needs other alphabet to be together. It's like combined. So it's together, the word together itself has so many alphabets in them. Because if you cannot pronounce together with just one alphabet, right? So it's something like that. You have to learn how to be together, but still detach. So that's the thing what the A is trying to do. The A's want to become their self master by living amongst B, C, and D. But they are also actually this I need to, this is, you all need to hear this because this now is not going to be, there'll be another different one. There'll be A, B, C, D already. I told you, right? Now let's see F. F will be something different from all but similar to A. Okay. F will be having how do you say, F loves shortcut. Shortcut in life. Everything is shortcut. Yeah. Not cheating, right? But something like similar cheating, but will be different. This is from what I have learned and observed people. So I maintain them into this category. So it's easier for me to understand. I don't know for you, maybe you want in it, you can make your own one, okay? You can observe them and make up your own. So F will be what? F would be about people who wants to cut cord. They don't want to hang out with B, C, or D at all. They don't want to be get influenced by them at all. So they will go cut cold turkey and go separately, and then want to go and hang out with, like like how do you say? They want to become self mastery, just like A, literally just like A, you know, exactly like A. But this is what is going to happen. F is living separate from all this, right? But they will also get lots of wisdom and knowledge and everything, self mastery, but they have not self mastered themselves while living with B, C, and D. They didn't live it, they just live separately. Now, when they live separately, this also happens. They will also try to help people who are in try to help people who are B, C, and D, you know. but they themselves have never lived with B, C, and D at all. Never. Like live together in the same house, hang out with them, sit with them, talk to them. Or maybe they have loved ones who are like B and C and D. No, they don't want that. They want to cut cold turkey and go there. Means hide away somewhere, you know, and then become master and of themselves, and but still not come back and live with them. No, they cannot, because they if they come back and live with B, C, and D, what happened was whatever they learn, what they like, they have devoted their whole life towards to that mastery of themselves and to give service to the to divine, okay, to God. So it's like mostly devotion, not to themselves, but to God, something outside of themselves, not to themselves. To themselves also is going to be there, but very less. My hair is very flat. Don't worry about that. So then what happens? The F will try to become just like A, but A, very few people you will see who is A. A is like a person who is like learning to be self mastery themselves, or want to learn everything, and not only learn, want to practice on themselves and also still live B, C, and D. Now go find out who is who is F. I think so. You might be knowing F. They are living in the monks in the temples, monks and all. And then they even try. The F will practice the five vices, become five viceless. But we don't know how they practice that, right? They didn't come out and share it. Some practice, but there are many out there who practice it in such a way that they have to literally live outside and not trying to offend them or anything. I don't know whether you're F who is listening. If you're F and listening to me, I feel said that make it challenge yourself and see whether you can live amongst B and C and D and still come out being self master, and you still whatever you practiced when you were being F and you come live with F, come and living with amongst B and C and D, facing all those obstacles daily, literally daily, and you still are stable, then you are already became A. You have mastered that. You don't even need to hang out with F. You can become A and still hang out with A, B, C, and D. Like, how can F stand alone? F stand alone is no fun. No, you feel lonely, you feel sad. There will be lots of things, lots of questions, and you'll think that I have to pass this. I have to pass this. You're still competing, but you're competing with who? That's the main thing. You're competing with. They're still competing. In the end, you're still competing. F is still competing. And I don't know what they're competing with what, but in the end, if you don't learn, like we have been learning how to combine. Everything is connected. You see, even our body inside, how everything is connected with each other, right? The white blood cells and red blood cells work together as a team. All the different organs works together as a team, not one particular organ working alone and functioning the whole body. No, we cannot do that. If you're going to go find out if only one body function is functioning and the rest is dead, how they're living, it's not easy. It's very hard. It's like if you have a kidney failure, you need to replace a kidney. If you have a heart failure, heart needs to be replaced, right? So everything, it needs connection. The branches you see, you all the awakened people will know this, that what the connection is out there, what you're you're getting that enlightenment of awakenedness. So F for all the F out there. If the B is listening, or C is listening, or D is listening, if you want to become A, this is what you need to do. Start work on yourself. Don't race with anyone. Forget racing. Race within yourself. You know, start taking a step of how to create yourself. If you can see behind there's a code, you can see the girl. I don't know, it's a girl hand or boy hand. They're doing the clay and the clay mask they're making behind. If you can see the picture, yeah. So that picture behind is something like that clay is us, right? And we are shaping ourselves up out how shape we want, but we are not focusing on us. This is what is happening out there. People are focusing on, oh, I want to be like that person. That shape here. That shape here. That shape. I'm sorry, my stomach. And then shape here, shape ourselves to be just like that, copying them. Why don't be who you truly are? And if you don't like yourself, don't like your own company, love their own company. They love being alone. They love, even though when they're alone, they don't feel sad. They feel happy. They can actually laugh by themselves, have fun by themselves, and then B and C and all other B, C, D, okay, B, C, D, and F, have to bring in humor within themselves. In the end, I'll tell you one thing. If F stay alone, literally, let's pretend F staying alone on the planet. Have no one. Wonder if F feel more lonely now because now F is doing something. They're trying to master devotions, whatever. But for who to see? That's the main thing. For who to see? Is it for yourself to see? The moment you're doing it for yourself, but not for yourself in a selfish way. This is what you need to learn. Selfish actually is also applies to not the word itself selfish because B, C, and D are already in that category of themselves, self, right? A also have self in it. So see, all self is still there, present in A, in B, in C, in D, and in F. But self has there's a two realms of self. A self means becomes selfless, or someone becomes self. Selfish means only me, 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 me. I want, I want, I want. I want to take, I want to take. So, but then selfless is something like you want to give. You're not thinking about this anymore. You're not thinking about the uh, like, oh, I have to have a perfect skin. I have to have my nose have to be like so thin. I have to go do my nose job so I can be accepted by everyone out there. You have a beautiful model nose, like that. Or maybe, oh, I want my face to be lit so I can look young. Being attachment is all these things, right? You're wasting your money on that. Wasting, I don't know, so difficult. It's so funny. Like you're earning money. The D is desiring lots of the five vices. The greed, right? Greed is money. But then not only greed with money is greed with all the possessions of things and material things and everything. Having, I need to have the highest technology. F actually doesn't compete with anyone. F will feel and do what they needed in life for what is purpose for them. They can they use for their purpose, right? So if A wants, they're able to buy a phone. They will find a good phone for themselves and not be attached to the phone. Now everybody in the morning they get up, their first thing is look at the phone. I actually use my phone for only for three purpose only actually. Is my phone has become like my computer actually. And then that's the thing, before having this new digital phone, so I used to just use computer all day long. Actually not even all day long, could not be all day because my arm will get tired. Everything I use in my computer actually broke down. I'm using the laptop right now. So I wanted for son to study online because COVID time, so lucky for that time. Then the phone has become like computer for me, so they have everything, emails in it, we use it, right? But then I was brought up in that generation when the computer started coming, and then it was in the year of was 19 oh, 1996 I think. So I was born before that, right? So I was very good in computers. Anyway, now it's coming towards me now. I don't want to talk about me. So what I was trying to say is try to not use phone also a lot. Don't let the phone become your master, and you become the master of your phone. But I have become addicted to phone because I'm trying to hang out with A lot. because there's lots of A inside the phone, and surrounding me is lots of B, C, and D. So I have addicted to that yet right now. So I have actually even confessed to one of my best friend, and I told him that, see, I'm getting addicted to this, and then this is the reason. Not playing games. People play games, but I will reveal to you. Uh, I don't know. You can see it. It's like, you see, it's written Telegram. I chat with a friend on the Telegram for 2 hours. And then YouTube, okay, it's just what listening to the wisdom and knowledge. Okay, so YouTube morning is my first thing that I listen to. Affirmation sometimes keep on changing. You know, I make my own affirmation and stick on the wall and then read that also, not that. But sometimes when you're in hurry, right, then you just listen and just repeat after they what they're saying exactly. So I have even my son's he knows. It's so funny. Next time I'll come have a video with my son on it and then we'll communicate with you guys and see how it goes. So, well, thank you so much for listening in today. And today's topic was about A, B, C, and D. And oh, I left out E. I just dumped from D to F. Okay, never mind. It's F. Let's keep E for something else. Oh, I know. E for eating. Let's go eat food. So in the end, we love eating, right? So A have to eat one day. B also have to eat. C also have to eat. D also have to eat. And now F also have to eat. But F is trying not to eat. So anyway, thank you so much for listening in today. And please do check yourself and check your family member around you. Don't ask them. Just sit and observe them. When you watch movie, right? Just sit and observe your family. When you observe your family, see what category they come into. Is it B? Is it C? Is it D? Yeah. And then if they are C, what you need to do to help them. Do you help them by you also being C and give them lecture? Or you start changing yourself and become A and then help them. Always remember this. When you are B and telling another B to change themselves to become A, they will not become A unless you become an example and show them. That's always the best way to teach them is first start with yourself. Always with yourself. Never try to change other people to become B first. You may not become B first. Sorry, become A first. So you have to become A. If you are a B, become A. If you're C, become A. You're a D, become A. You know, so hang out with A lots of time, and then you'll see how it changes you. You will see from their perspective. If you don't want to become A, never mind. Hang out with them. Just hanging out with them. How does it make you feel? See the energy that you're getting from A, and the moment you know how you what kind of energy you're getting, and you like that energy, if you like that, experiment it on yourself. Try that kind of step of changing. Okay, and hope you have a wonderful day out there. To all the A's and B's and C's and D's and F, and then don't forget to eat. Thank you so much, beautiful. Love you all.